With us now to discuss is former federal prosecutor Alyse Adamson. Alyse, great to see you. Walk us through the ruling from this judge and what you think comes next.
Yeah, thanks so much, Boris. I mean, essentially, Oregon just won a major round in a constitutional tug of war that goes right to the heart of American federalism. So the judge in Oregon has temporarily, through a temporary restraining order, blocked the Trump administration from sending in or federalizing National Guard troops to Oregon. The first temporary restraining order was issued, just blocked the federalization of the National Guard in Oregon. The Trump administration attempted to circumvent this by calling in troops from other places like California. So the judge has now issued a second temporary restraining order saying, no, you cannot federalize any troop to going into Oregon. And the reason for that is the judge has found that the Trump administration has exceeded their authority here. So with all due respect to Caroline Leavitt, just listening to that soundbite, the president does not have the authority to federalize the troop under all circumstances, only under very limited circumstances. And here, the only applicable, there's three. There's if there's a foreign invasion, that doesn't apply. There's if there's a rebellion, or if there is the state's regular forces can't execute the laws, meaning regular police force cannot stop what here is protests from impeding on federal law enforcement capabilities. And the judge found that there is no colorable basis for either. There's no rebellion. And furthermore, the local police are able to keep these protests in check. They said there hasn't really been an arrest since June. The on-the-ground facts do not support what the president has found. So there are very important constitutional and statutory limitations to the president's authority, and that is what the court has just found. What's next, Boris, to answer your second question, is an appeal. The Trump administration has already appealed to the Ninth Circuit, and we will see if they agree with the lower court's decision.
Yeah, I think one of the interesting things that will likely be tested in that appeal is the question of whether what we're watching unfold there constitutes open rebellion. You have the administration suggesting that it does, that somebody wheeling out a guillotine as a demonstration of some kind of protest means that there is insurrection, means that there is some attempt to go against the federal government. Where is the line exactly between a demonstration and something that then actually amounts to the kind of rebellion that would require a National Guard response?
Well, Boris, I believe that is exactly what is going to be litigated in court. If you remember back to the LA protests, the Trump administration advanced the same argument and the judge similarly rejected there. The judge was really relying on the regularly interpreted meaning of rebellion, which is an attempt to overthrow the government, an armed rebellion, a unified show of force. And we are not seeing that in Portland. At least that is what the judge determined. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to fight about the interpretation of what a rebellion actually is. Is it the historical context of rebellion, or, as you just described, is it going to be expanded for more First Amendment-like behavior that has now gone into something different? I think what's important to note, though, Boris, is there's that second circumstance that the impediment of the forces to execute the laws. I think that is what the fallback position was in LA, that these protests were keeping ICE from enforcing the law. And I actually think that's a safer position for the administration, because if you have protesters that are preventing ICE agents from making arrests, from entering federal facilities, there is a stronger argument that they are impeding and making it impossible to do the laws than it is that there is some kind of armed and open rebellion and an attempt to overthrow the United States government.
Alyse Adamson, thank you so much for sharing your point of view. Appreciate it.